At this hour, we do it in the hot seat with us today.
Hey, yo, it's the originator.
Yeah, what it is, what it do, everybody. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in to another dope episode on the Rize TV. At this hour, we do it virtually. You already know what it is, man. It's your favorite host, Mazerati Santana from Big Mozzie Productions on the Rise of Business Minded People. So you already know what it is, man. Make sure y'all sharing this live. Tune in. It's about to go down. Shout out to the homegirl, Sonny J. Just tapped back in. You know what I mean? Love my real supporters, my real solid supporters. The ones that really got that solid supporters in me. You feel me? So you already know what it is, man. We got another special guest that's going to be in the hot seat right now. Blessing the platform. Also going to be talking and dropping gems and jewels for everybody out there. We're talking about hip-hop. Real hip-hop. That's the message of the day. What y'all really know about the real hip-hop scene, man. You know what I mean? We got a dope legend that's going to be on the show today. All the way from Brooklyn, New York, man. Marcy Projects, man. This man is a legendary at what he do. You know what I mean? So we're going to talk about that briefly. You know what I mean? So we're going to get him on the live, man. Shout out to DJ Willie Bangs for making this shit come together. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's tuning right back in. You know what I mean? To the live, man, is going down. I love y'all because y'all always show me love. So I give y'all love back, man. Make sure y'all tapping in, network with each other, drop y'all social medias, drop what city y'all repping, where y'all from and all that. And it is what it is, man. I'm about to get the guests up here now. So y'all make sure y'all share this live. It's about to go down right now. Instagram, Mozzie Bracken 18. Also Facebook, Mazerati Santana, man. Salute to everybody tuning in, man. Let's get it. You already know. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, brother?
Yo, what's good?
You already know, man. Hey, listen, for everybody, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. For everybody out there that's tuned in with us on the Rize TV, man, go ahead and let the people know who we got in the hot seat with us today.
Hey, yo, it's the originator Jazo. Marcy Forever, Kings County Media Group. You know, Brooklyn Forever.
Facts. You kind of breaking up over there, Jazz?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, breaking up.
Is that any better?
Nah, it's
Any
like,
better?
yeah, it's kind of blurry. I can't really see you like that.
Yeah, because...
It's all good. Take your time, brother. We here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work it out. Like, I ain't set up. I'm out and about, man. Some things happen today, you know, and it's always...
Absolutely.
Everything falling on top of everything, you know what I'm saying? So, just running around, but, you know, getting it done.
Absolutely. All right, I got you clear now. All right, right
Okay,
there. Whatever
cool.
you did, stay right there. I got you clear now. But that's what it is, man. Everybody tune in on the Rize TV, man. We got the infamous, the legendary from Brooklyn, New York, man. The originator, man. We got Jazo in the hot seat with us, man. Hey, how you feeling
Yeah.
today? I know you've been running around getting everything together, but
Yeah, I feel great. I feel great. And, you know, you got to keep moving because, you know, you stop moving, you start rotting. So, you know.
That's what it
You
is.
know how that goes.
So let me just dive into this interview, man. So like, who is Jazo for you? Like, you know what I mean? If you could tell me who Jazo is, tell the people, tell me. I'm getting to know you the same as, you know, how the people is getting to know you on the live today. So who is
No
Jazo?
doubt. Yeah, Jazo is a neighborhood cat forever. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the accolades, regardless of the tenure in the music business, you know, I'm a cat, I'm a homeboy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a cat that loves where I'm from. I'm emotional about where I'm from. I love my people. I'm a family guy. You know, professionally, you know, I strive for excellence always. You know, I never sit on my laurels and say, oh, I did this and I did that. You know what I'm saying? It's a constant striving for excellence. You know, you can always improve on something. So, you know, that's me. For those who may not know about any of my maybe my discography, you know, I'm also a producer. I produced Ain't No Nigga for Jay-Z, Rap Game, Crack Game for Jay-Z, appeared on Nigga What, Nigga Who for Jay-Z, produced world famous Lifestyles of a Ghetto Child and Born to Kill for MOP. In my earlier years professionally, I featured on 2 songs with the OJs, Have You Had Your Love Today and Respect. Both charted, you know, Billboard when Billboard charting was important. You know, so You know, I produce for the likes of Queen Latifah, Cool G Rap, Rakim, um, and the list goes on. You know, Source Money, Memphis Bleak. Um, I did joint, or I did the 3 joints, the last 3 joints for the Locks that got them. They did their first deal with Bad Boy. One of the joints made the cut for Puff's No Way Out album called I Got the Power, featuring the Locks. Um, you know, as an MC, you know, I battled all throughout the city. You know, we talking about the late 70s, early 80s. Um, the list goes on. You know, I could go on for days. I mean, I know you got questions, but there's more. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
facts. But this what we here for. You know what I mean? Like
No doubt.
this is a platform where I let, you know, the artists, you know what I'm saying, talk whatever they want to talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those interviewers, bro, that, you know what I mean, I'm not gonna let you speak. I want you to speak. I want the people to know your story. You know what I mean? That's what this platform is originally for. So let's just talk about, we know who Jazo is now. Now let's go in, let's talk about the documentary. You got a documentary film coming out, or is it already out?
Oh yeah, nah, we working on it right now. I won't give up the title because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to spoil the fun for everybody, and also, you know, I don't, you know how it is. I don't
Right.
even want to get into that.
Right.
But yeah, the title to be announced. Working on a biopic. You know, it highlights a lot of my career exploits, and it really shows like some of the landmark places geographically that, you know, help shape and mold the mentality that you see today in Jazzo. Um, you know, we have like an all-star lineup of people that we're going to interview, people that I have great rapport with, and I'm excited. You know, we're really at the beginning stages of it, but again, I'm excited about it. There are going to be a lot of people that many will be surprised to see on screen, and just excited. I'm also working on um, a book. The first volume, it's going to be 7 volumes. The first volume is almost completed. Um, Title to be announced as well. I'll give you the first part of it, at least that, because the whole volume series is going to be called Universes, which is a double entendre, like uni is one and verses, you know, a verse, but also universe is like the universe. And
Exactly.
yeah, and it basically highlights a lot of my landmark verses, and I do them like one at a time. I'm gonna end up doing 7, and the first one is gonna be my verse in Nigga What Nigga Who, and the main topic is about creative writing. It describes creative writing, um, and it keys in on poetic license, which a lot of people, you know, a lot of people think that, you know, MCs, for instance, you know, we come up with, you know, witty things by accident, you know, and it's not, it's by intention, you
Thanks.
know, and you know, so what I do, I give a description of several different poetic license, you know, onomatopoeia, simile, metaphor, hyperbole, and I highlight those specific usages of poetic license in iterating the verse within the book. Like if I have a certain line, you know, it'll designate, okay, that was hyperbole right there, so on and so forth. And in the book, it is a extended description of creative writing and the keys to being successful writing creatively. Um, so that's a work in itself, and my target is to really stop the denigration of, you know, the MC, like, you know, not to be associated with, you know, these killers out here, not to be associated with everybody that wants to be gangster. Like gangster is not what it used to be.
Exactly.
Um, and we not, you know, at the same time, you know, we want it to be known that the things that they're highlighting now and emphasizing now. These things have been happening. It's just now, because mainstream media has an agenda to fulfill, you know, now it's being highlighted and emphasized. You know, this, you know, come on, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, niggas been killing niggas and all different other ethnicities and so on and so forth, been killing each other, killing, you know, as cool, as uncool as it is, you know, is just a way of life. But, you know, so not to get away from my works, you know, that's basically, you know, creative writing. Hopefully I'll get to reach out. Well, I will reach out to other artists and groups, and you know, because you know, some of my verses aren't the only verses that are pivotal in you know, in hip hop, you know, to change the course or, you know, modify the whole game. So I'm gonna reach out to some other individuals and maybe do the same analysis, retrospect, and breakdown of, you know, their verses as well.
Absolutely. Well, I'm definitely excited for you on your journey with the documentary. Not giving up any titles yet, so y'all gotta follow Jazo right now, man, and follow what he got going on. And when that title drop, y'all gonna know first because y'all following the man. All right, so Jazo, what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick a pin in that real fast, and we're gonna go back to the beginning. How was you even introduced to music, and what are some of the things that got you started with battling, and you know what I mean, even up to the point where you met Jay?
Yeah, well, firstly, that it was a long time ago. My god brother, may he rest in power forever, Eric Oliver, who lived in the same building as me at 644 Park Ave. You know, there was a thing where, you know, certain DJs, they used to jack the juice from the light posts and have the music in the park. And we talking about 76, 77. And you know, Eric was like, yo, they got the music out. You know, it's like, yeah, you know, and a well-known DJ from the projects, Frankie D, used to always come out and shout to Frankie D. And he was like, yo, I bet you can't rap. We used to say rock the mic. So I bet you can't do that. And I was like, yeah, I probably can't. You know, I got tired of him, you know, in my ear with it. So I wrote an 8-bar rhyme.
Okay.
He was going crazy. And I was like, word, you like it like that? And he was like, yeah. So, you know, that gassed me up, head blew up, you know, to write more.
Facts.
And yeah, so that's where it started. And you know, to give you an idea how far back it was, you know, I went down to Graham Avenue, which was, you know, Broadway. That's where, you know, we used to shop for some of the smaller things. And I went and got me a white sweatshirt, and then went to this store called Siltries, you know, which was like an arts and crafts store, and got some iron-on letters. so
You gotta
so
make
I
it
had
work.
so I had Johnny B in the shape of like Superman's S on his chest. So I had Johnny B, and I wore that shirt probably like 4 days out the week. You know what I'm saying? So everybody knew. It's like, oh, that's what he called himself, Johnny B, Johnny B.
Right.
You know, and I started rapping or rhyming in Marcy Center and Paul Robeson. You know, on Fridays they would open it up, and it went from there. That was the beginning.
So like how
Moving.
you off like during that beginning stage when people starting to see Jazzo on the scene, we just start battling. Like, who was some of the artists out there like when you started like that was doing some of the same things you was doing at that time?
None that are in none. Like, you got to understand, this is when like records like King Tim the Third had just hit the air.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? King Tim the Third, Rapper's Delight. So, as far as like a group or, of rap artists, like technically there was no such thing as a rap artist back then. You know what I'm saying? So it was MCs. You are the MC or a DJ or an equipment carrier. We used to
Right.
call EC.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was it for the most part. I wasn't even an artist. I was an MC. But when I heard King Tim III, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was in 297 Park, PS 297 Park, and me and my man Ron and a couple other cats, we was just shooting around. And I heard King Tim III, and I was already MCing, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a record. I'm gonna make a record. Fast forward a few years later, I'm at my bro Fresh Gordon's house, who my DJ, Cool KG from the projects introduced me to. And me and Gordon, because Gordon had a studio in his crib, me and Gordon started doing freestyle records, started doing actual songs. I was writing some R&B shit. And one day, an individual named Marlon Prescott came to Gordon's house, and he heard me, and he was like, yo, what you doing with this guy? And he was like, yo, talk to him. So he was talking to me. He was like, yo, man, you need a deal. You need to be heard, this, that, and the other. So he talked to some people. He introduced me to who later became my manager, this guy Stan Poses. And they took me in a meeting with an A&R at EMI Records named Scott Folks. Now, I had known Scott Folks because a gentleman named J.P. Edmond had brought me to another meeting because Gordon and I had put together a little, I don't know what you would call it, like kind of like a musical montage called The Mission.
Facts. I follow.
And huh?
I said I got you. I'm tracking you.
Okay. And so they heard that, and they actually wanted me to sing R&B because I'm singing on the musical montage as well as rhyming. So they were like, yo, we want you to sing R&B. And I was like, that ain't what I want to do. So they were like, oh, cool. And it was actually Scott Folks and Vincent Davis, who was the owner of Entertainment, who put out songs like Pee Wee Herman by Joe Ski Love. So right after that, Vincent Davis signed Keith Sweat. But then fast forward to 1988, I'm having this meeting with Scott Folks up at EMI, and we put the deal together like 4 months later, and I was on my way to London. I asked my man KG that he want to run out with me. He said he see me when I get back. So I asked Jay-Z. Jay-Z was with it. He rolled out, and we were both introduced by my manager to Irv Gotti, who was DJ Irv back then. And so Irv, Jay, and myself were off to London to record my first album.
Wow. That's crazy right there. Oh, Irv was back then doing this thing.
Huh?
I said you, Jay, and Irv went to London, where you first recorded your first record, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, from that point, what was next for your career at that point when you went for when you was out in London? How did that trip go, and what was it like when you came back to New York City?
The trip was great. I had never been to Europe before that time. We enjoyed ourselves immensely. A note to make, that's when I met Moni Love out there. I was doing a song called Give a Little Extra on my first album, and I told my management, that I needed a female voice just for like one line. Technically, it was like 4 words, and they, they reached out and they found this DJ. His name was DJ Pogo or something like that, and Pogo had connected them with Moni. So Moni came to the studio. She did those 4 words, and that's when I created a rapport with Moni. And Moni always raves. I was like, yo, these guys, they came to London. They were living in a posh area in London. She was like, I never even been out here before. She was like, I'm from London.
Yo, you kind of breaking up.
Oh, okay, let me see. Is that better?
Yeah, you breaking up.
Is it better now? Better now?
I mean, it's kind of blurry.
Yeah, my screen, yeah, you getting blurry too, but my screen is staying the same. I'm actually holding.
There we go.
Huh?
There we go.
I'm Gooch? Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, Moni always raves about, like, these guys came to London and, they were living good, super good, and, she was on the Breakfast Club, and, Jay-Z and his accolades are so immense that, they were asking questions based upon the fact that we were there on Jay-Z's bill, and she had to clarify to them. She's like, nah, this, he was with Jazz. Like, Jazz was the guy with the deal, the mega deal, and blah blah blah. And I got to tell the story, because if I don't, who is? You know what I'm saying? So I was the first rap artist ever signed to EMI Records. The largest recording contract for any rap artist at that time by a lot. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I could go on, so I need the questions because I can go on.
Nah, definitely. I'm loving it. I know the people out there loving it as well. This is why you up here. We want to hear Jazz side of the story. You feel me? Now, since we already on the topic, you went to London, you know what I mean? You was the one that was having the deal at first. Jay came with you. Now, at what point would you and Jay-Z cause confusion? What point was that?
I hate to burst a lot of people's bubble, but it really was no confusion. He, after a while, he was getting along in his career and doing his thing. I was on a spiritual path, and, I went down to Atlanta. And so, that was really that. I came back, I guess it was like late 93. And as a matter of fact, he picked me up from the airport from Kennedy. And, I started doing work as far as making beats and stuff out of D&D Studios again. And so, it was really no confusion. I mean, it was, all right, I'm going to give it up. You know how there are people around the people. Hold on a second. Am I coming in clear?
You good? You still good?
Okay, cool. There are people around the people. So there are different parts, what we're going to call people, around the principle or the principles. And basically, the he said, she said, and when you're a stand-up individual, a lot of times you end up in the mix and the finger's pointed at you. So people would come to me, they would have grievances and stuff like that between that and individuals that were around us, but just really hating our relationship. They wanted to be the man sitting next to the man. And it wasn't even about that. Like, to me, it's like, we all brothers. Like, let's get along in business. Let's get this bread. and keep it moving, tend to our families and love. You know what I'm saying? But you know, so I just didn't want to be around it, so I stopped being around. It had nothing to do with him. It was more so the people around him. I just didn't want to deal. You know what I'm saying? And I said, yo, it'd be more quiet. Let him focus on what he needs to focus on to be successful, because that was my whole purpose of even putting him on from the beginning, was the fact that when I heard him, I heard myself, you know, as far as rhyming and everything, the cadence, the vocal projection, you know, the overall timing, you know, the wit. So that was my whole thing, so that he wouldn't have to go through many of the rigors that I went through to get to a certain point in my career. So so I just backed off, you know, and maybe it confused him. I'm sure it confused a lot of other people, because they were probably confused about, like, why is he not like us? Like, why does he not want to, you know, be around and, you know, be a bandwagoner or whatever? You know what I'm saying? So, but I just didn't, because I'm not built like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not built like that. You know, I love my friends. I love my family. And, you know, I have little to no time for bullshit. So
Right.
that's who Jazo is.
Now, far as with Jay-Z at this point, you back off. You know, you wanted him to do his own thing. Um, what was his take on you backing away from that movement and
Um,
letting them shine?
um, he didn't have a problem with it. The problem he had was, in the midst of all of that going on, there were people in his ears saying things to him. And he didn't really have time for it, and he could have been confused about whatever. I don't want to speak. I don't want to. I don't want to speak for him and say what he was thinking, because nobody knows what every other individual is thinking, only through their actions. So, but I can say, you know, people called it a beef, and I've said this many times. Beef is when you only got two left in the clip, and you got niggas busting at you, and you behind a skinny ass tree. You know, that's beef. You know, anything outside of that ain't no problems. You know, we didn't have problems like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pull up on this nigga when I see him. It wasn't like that. You know, there was a discrepancy as far as where loyalties lie. And I really never had a problem. We never really had problems like that. You know, some things were said, so on and so forth, but we didn't have problems.
Right.
And, you know,
So
we did.
it was really more
We,
the media was trying to hype things up between you guys.
of course, of course, of course. And we were never on that, you know, so all of the people that's attracted to drama, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that. You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
yeah. Now here's a question for you. Now, was there a point of time where you was offered a deal with Rock Nation to sign with Rock Nation with Jay? Was there ever a time
Well,
that
there was
happened?
no such thing. Yeah, there was no such thing as Rock Nation. It was Rockefeller Records. And yeah, I declined. And the only reason I declined, I mean, I wanted to sign because, you know, for all intents and purposes, you know, I felt that it was a family thing to do. But the flip side of that is also a business. So I asked some questions and I didn't get the answer I desired. So, you know, I declined. But, you know, it had nothing to do with how I felt about Jay or anybody else. They were conducting business. I was conducting business the same way.
Absolutely.
Simple as that.
Absolutely. And you guys still talk to this day.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Exclusive shit. You know what I mean? That clears up a lot. You know what I mean? It just shows you that, you know, the media will always hype things up, regardless. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Especially, you know, dealing with two legendary people like you and Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
You
Checks in the
know,
mail.
crazy. And you know the names are like, oh, let's just talk about like Jazz always been your name. Like, you got Jazzo, you got Jay-Z. Like, what was? I mean, was it a part of y'all You know, when y'all was first coming out together, when y'all went to London? What was that about?
His original MC name was Shawnee D, and you know that was that. And when it changed, there are a lot of questions that people ask. You know, there are things that were published that he said, or published that is said that he said, but you would have to ask him. You know, you would have to ask him. I say, you know, Jazz, Jay-Z, you know, it sounds very similar, and it's a wonderful thing. To me, I don't look at it like, you know, having one up on him. I look at it as a compliment, whether it's my name or he got it from somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? It's still a compliment and a tribute to our working relationship from way back then, and you know, the personal friendship and love.
Facts. That's what it is, man. I appreciate that. That's a solid answer right there. You know what I mean? Much love to you, King. Like that's real support right there. Now let's
Yeah,
talk
thank
about
you.
where you from Marcy Projects, man. Like you got so many great, you know, great MCs that come from Marcy. You know what I mean? Biggie Smalls. You know what I'm saying? He was not from Marcy's, but he was still from Brooklyn. Like, did you ever
Hmm.
have a chance to meet Biggie?
Yeah, yeah. I knew Big. I knew Big, and it was funny that like 3 weeks after I came back from London, or we came back from London, I moved out of Marcy, and I moved over to a street called Lefferts Place, which is in like Clinton Hills, uh, which is within the immediate area between like 2 and 3 blocks, where like most of the Junior Mafia, along with Biggie, lived. And so we used to go to this park, me and my cousin, because one of my cousins was living with me at the time. And we used to go to this park on the corner of Fulton and Clausen, and we used to just shoot around. And so we were in the park one day, and I don't know what he was doing. You know, he could have been hustling or what have you. But I used to see him. He saw me one day. He's like, yeah, I know who you are. And he was like, what's up? What's up? Because, you know, a few times before, you know, he's just saying, what's up? What's up? Like some regular, you know. But he was like, yeah, I know who you are. Don't think I don't know who you are. What's up? And I was like, what's up? And so, you know, but I didn't see him much after that until, you know, Big became big. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, and I saw him in a couple of clubs, and he would see me, and we do this. That's just the thing we do, you know, sign respect, kind of like some MC shit, like, yeah, nigga,
Respect.
yeah, respect, but
Yeah,
don't
fact.
get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing, you know, but love and respect. And he used to be like, yeah, I see you. Don't think I don't see you. I see you. I was
Absolutely.
like, all right, I see you.
You know, yeah, watch it, but that's what it is though. Like, you know, you've been a legendary originator from New York. Let's talk about some of the DJ that was out there, like, you know, around the late 80s, coming up in the early 90s. Let's talk Kid Capri. Like, what do you think Kid Capri did for the culture of hip hop?
Oh man, Kid Capri, skilled individual, man. Skilled individual. It's funny, and I don't know if Kid remembers, but I first met Kid Capri in Broadway International, and but he was MCing.
Wow, yep, yep.
He was MCing,
Yeah.
and it was funny because, not funny, but I remember the first thing I remember about Kid Capri was that smile. Like, when I first saw him, like he had that smile. He had one of them, like, and I'm not comparing him to Isaiah Thomas, but he had one of them 80s Isaiah Thomas smiles, that, like, you could tell, like, it's authentic, you know. And I met him. I think he was with he gonna laugh if he hears this, because I remember it like it was yesterday. He was with DJ Red Alert. And He's coming out of Broadway International. I think, yeah, he had a performance, and I think I was performing that night too. So yeah, and I mean, he's still out here doing it. You know, much love and respect to him. You know, and all the success in the world.
Absolutely. Let's talk briefly about Kings County Music Group. What can you talk to me about that?
Yeah, Kings County Media Group is, you know, obviously Kings County is Brooklyn. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, cool. I ain't want to insult you or nothing.
No, you good? You good?
Like, did you know? So yeah, Kings County Media Group is my baby. You know, something that I had for a while as a production company, morphed into or diversified more into an LLC, you know, which contains production and now is actually a distribution. So, and of course, you know, we have, you know, as a label. So that's Kings County Media Group, and with the biopic, we're stepping into the film production game because I'm co-producing, you know, the biopic coming up.
Right.
So, and yeah, and we do have a couple of artists that I will be naming soon. Like, you got to stay in contact. You know, they will be coming up as we put music out.
Absolutely. Dope shit. You also got a mixtape that you did with Jay-Z. Never was released though. Why wasn't it released? Do you still got the masters, or would you ever put it out?
Not without permission, you know. You know, that guy, you know, I would, you know, I mean, music is music, and I mean, that's something that I would have to discuss, you know, with him, you know, rightfully, you know.
Got it.
But definitely, something that would be, I mean, it would be monumental for the game in itself.
Facts.
Not to brag. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that I feel like that's a fact. Yeah. So,
what is it?
I hope I answered your question.
You good, because that's, you know, like I said, that's something, that's a whole nother story topic right there. Like, you know what I mean? You got to do things the right way. You just can't put something out. You got to do it the right way. So, you know what I mean? You know what it is. You know what you got to do. But
People do it though.
Yeah,
people do it though. I don't know why, because you can't escape it.
And they get sued. You know what I'm saying? So it's really a hole that you digging yourself in if you want to put it out. But you want to make sure you always do good business with people, man. I mean, that's what.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely. Now, you being for Marcy Projects, man, like, what is it like now for young artists that's coming up in the game, young MCs coming up in the game from being from where you're from? What is it like for them? What type of message that you can give back to your community?
Stick to your guns. You know, you have something, you got to be realistic enough with yourself to recognize whether you have a pot of gold or some trash, you know. And sometimes the difference between that is not even the quality of music anymore. It's, you know, how well you market your material, you know, because everything is the analytics and so on and so forth. You know, it's a numbers game. You know, how good are you, how well are you connected with the playlist curators? You know, it's a whole different game now, a whole different business model. So so those are the things that, you know, up and coming artists should be wary of, you know. And not surprisingly, but fortunately, they're more in tune with that than many of us who have tenure in this game. And, you know, we had to not really conform, but, you know, modify the way we do business, because, you know, we were in a time where music distribution was physical, actual distribution, the manufactured goods being shipped, you know, as opposed to now. You know, I was telling somebody before, you know, you could sit down in front of your computer and create, produce, mix, master, and distribute a song without even getting up.
Exactly. Yeah, the game changed, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The game have changed dramatically.
Most definitely.
Yeah, but that's what it is, man. Hey, do you got any last inspirational words for anybody on this live, to your friends, to your family, your supporters? Any last shout outs, man? You got the room. You got the floor right now for that, Jazo.
Yeah, man. I just I did music, and from the first time I did it to prove a point, but I've grown to do it for the love. It wasn't money, but once I saw I could make money doing it, it became a balance. And I think the most successful people keep that balance. That longevity is the balance between you actually loving your craft and, you know, the ability to operate properly in business to make money and feed your family and create a legacy.
Exactly. Exactly. Any shout outs for the people?
Oh man,
Too many.
I can't. Yo, I could say this. Shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to Marcy. Shout out to all members and staff of Kings County Media Group. Um, Shout out to my bro Jay-Z. Shout out to all my bros everywhere. Special shout out to my bro Top Gunner. You know, Marcy native that's down in Georgia right now. Shout out to all my peoples. You know, I got too many friends, man, and too many brothers and sisters. You know, I don't want to say too many people because, like, oh, you said him, why didn't you say her? You didn't say her, why didn't you say me? You know, that type of thing. But
And
you
shout
know,
out
you know
DJ
how
Willie
that go.
Bangs.
I'm too real for TV sometimes, huh?
And so shout out to Willie Bangs, man, for making this shit happen.
Oh yeah, you already shouted him out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Definitely
yeah.
want to shout out
Hey,
DJ
that's
Willie
a,
Banks.
he's a
Oh,
solid
and,
brother.
oh yeah, and let me not forget. You could check me. I got features on the new project coming out by DJ Willie Banks called Hip Hop Havoc. It's gonna be crazy. Like he just told me something. I haven't heard anything besides my contributions, but just the lineup is crazy. And I mean, if you love hip hop, you're gonna love Hip Hop Havoc. DJ Willie Banks.
Tap in, y'all. Tap in. But that's what it is, man. Hey, Jazo. Hey, I want to salute you on your movement. I want to thank you for taking time out to be on my platform, on the Rize TV, where we discovered this platform for local artists that wasn't getting recognition, but now it turned from local to major artists. I'm interviewing people like you, Kid Capri, you know what I mean, DJ Swamp. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man, like how this platform really grow organically. So salute to you, brother. You know what I mean? Being a legend, being an originator from Brooklyn, New York, man. You know what I mean? So you got much love from me, from BMP, from the whole nation, from Fayetteville, North Carolina. That's where I'm at right now. So I appreciate
Oh, okay.
it and keep pushing. I'm going to talk to you off the live, but definitely salute to you, brother.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, what it is, what it do, everybody.